Okay, guys, if you're sitting comfortably and you're ready, I think we'll make a start. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of what it is that we're going to try and do during this short session. I'm going to keep you for no more than about half an hour, and I want to cover off a few of the features of the app. We're very aware that the app is packed with features, and in our opinion, it would seem like not a huge number of our clients are actually using it to their full potential. Some of us don't use it at all. Some of us use it a little bit. Some of us use it a lot. But there's so much more that it can do. And I presume if you're here, you're curious about that. So that's the session. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I am recording this, but I have muted everyone so that I'm the only one that can speak. At the end, that's just a privacy thing. And at the end, if you want to, at any point during the session, as we go through it, if you have any questions at all, just put them into the chat bot, just into where you were telling me that you could hear me there. If you type any questions that you have in there, I will get to them at the end. So I'll not answer them as we go through, because I'll lose my train of thought and we'll never get it done. So we'll just move through it. If you can hear me, we'll keep going. If you've got any questions, throw it into the chat bot and I'll get round to them at the very end. Okay, so you're all very welcome. The three things that I want to try and cover, first of all, is the workout module. The second part is the nutrition module. And then thirdly, a few little quirks and little frequently asked questions that we get asked a lot about the app and about using the gym in general. So if we don't cover off what it is that you want us to cover, just put it into the chat message. If I don't have time to finish it today, I will create a video. The plan is also to reuse this whole session. I'll try and record the whole thing. I'll clip it down into the useful bits, and we'll post that for everybody else to see. So worthwhile for everybody. So without further ado, keep your eyes on my screen here. I have my phone plugged into this chat as well. And if I hit this button, you should be able to see that I'm just actually on the session itself on the ConnecTED community page. So the community page is very useful for seeing what's going on at the gym, a lot of advertising, lost and found things, and what the coaches are up to, where the classes are happening, and if there's anything special going on. And then when you move back from this screen, yours might look slightly different if you're not a pro member, but you should still have all these options. You might have one extra tile that says Go Pro. I'll talk to you in a little while about what that gets you, as well as the 24-hour access to Lisburn. So if we start off with the workout module, okay? So the workout module is this one with the little dumbbell. And when you click on here, first of all, what it brings you up is this massive library of existing workouts. Now, some of these workouts have been created by the app and they just are already in the app. And some of the workouts are already in that we have built. Okay, so if you go to the previously planned ones, these are ones that I've scheduled for other people on their behalf. If you go into the created by me ones, these ones are ones that I personally have created. Yours will be blank because you won't have created any. Okay, now first of all, what I'm going to show you is just one at random. So if I go to ConnecTED workout of the week 1, I'll talk a little bit more about these in a second. You click on, and what it shows you is, first of all, in underneath the little clock, it'll show you the full length and duration, approximately how long it'll take. It'll show you what level of workout it is, and then it'll show you the expected calorie burn. So in a 40-minute session, 246 calories. If you think about your average spin class, if you're going flat out, you might do 400, 450 in about the same length of time. So it's about half of the difficulty of a spin class, this one. Underneath then, it gives you a brief rundown of what it's for. And then underneath that again, it gives you a little cue of what you might expect as you go along. Okay, now you can go to info. It'll show you a little picture of which of the various body part targets that this particular workout is going to hit, and what equipment that you need to get it. Okay, so if you wanted to do this workout, you would go, that's a great idea. I'm just going to go ahead and start that one. You press start, it'll tell you Oh, you've created something and done something good. And then you can just hit play. Again, you can previously go in and set various targets, change what weight of dumbbells you're going to use, etc., etc. But all you're really changing there is what it's going to prompt you to do once you hit play. When you then hit play, you should get a little picture of the guy actually doing the exercise in a safe manner. And it will also do the timer for you on the app. You can go out of this and then set up some music so that it's also playing the music at the same time and come back and this little guy will still be going around in a circle. Okay, when you finish that, or if you feel like that's a bit too long, you hit the little tick in the corner and it'll show you what the next one is. A little bit of time to get ready, that's counting down into the rest period. And then as soon as the rest period's over, it's going to show you what the next one is. So this guy's doing little squats with the dumbbells. Okay, and we've done that one, and that was a great job. It took me 36 minutes, and I burnt the calories, and I did this many sets, etc., etc. And then I could share it with all my friends. So that's basically the workout module. You go in, you choose a workout that you want to do. And that's really, I think, what the vast majority of people have done to date. But it can be a little bit better than that. Okay, so here's how you would use it to be a little bit better. First of all, you could go to, what do I actually want to do? You could start to go, I want to build some muscle, show results. How long have I got? I've got 20 minutes, show results. Equipment, I might want to pick ones that I like or ones that I don't like. And maybe I'm at home. Maybe I've got no equipment at all. Maybe I've got everything. You could select everything and then go. And then you could show through the results. And then what I want you to do is just pick one at random and then go to the calendar instead of the start workout. And then you could actually start to build yourself a schedule where you can select which days of the week your workouts are actually going to be on. And then when you go, and I'm going to show you where this goes, if you then hit back out, I would hit complete there. If I then go down, when I click on me at the bottom, I go to schedule. No, I don't. I go to calendar. See down at the very bottom here? And then it's going to show me what I have planned on each of the days. So those workouts that I would just have put into my schedule, they would all then appear on my forward planner. So what you could do is you could go in and say, I'm going to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to do leg day on Monday. I'm going to do upper body on Wednesday. I'm going to do cardio on Friday. You could go into the app, choose a workout for Monday and assign it to your calendar. A workout for Wednesday and assign it to your calendar. A workout for Friday and assign it to your calendar. You could then do, actually, I'll do them every day for 6 weeks and click through. Or you could pick a different one for each day for 6 weeks. And you could do that at the start of your month, work your way through the whole month, and then at the end of the month go, just repeat that again. And every time when you come to this calendar, it's going to be full of all the things that you could do or couldn't do. Now, let's go back. You may remember that in the community, I'll probably not be able to find one now, but for a while, I have been printing out and doing all of the little workouts of the weeks and posting them into the calendar just in written form. What I want to tell you is that from today, I am no longer going to do that. Instead, I am going to direct everyone to do the workout of the week in the app. Okay, so from here on out, when you see workouts, you're going to be able to go in and you'll be doing connected. Oops. Connected. Search. And if you start looking, you'll be able to see workout of the week 1, workout of the week 2, workout of the week 3, and actually I've done them all the way right up to 20. So I'm 20 weeks ahead right now. Okay, so from next week when we get to Wednesday and I start posting the Wednesday workout of the week, I'm actually going to post Wednesdays as week 1. So from now we're going to move on to, and this is going to be this week's workout of the week. I hope that makes sense. The other thing that you might notice is that there are stretching ones here. So always worth doing an extra bit of stretching. Everybody can do them. And the other thing to be aware of is if that seems like too much difficulty for you, if setting that up sounds like a hassle, I can do it for you. So if you come to me and you say, you know what, actually, I'd love a 6 week program. I'd love to be able to do, just like you said, the Monday one, the Wednesday one, the Friday one, or I'll do 2 weeks, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays only, or I'll do a Monday and a Thursday. But I don't want to know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I want you to plan it for me. Just send me a message. It isn't a complicated thing for me to do it on your behalf. I can assign it to your profile, and then when you say you would then just go to yours, and it would automatically appear in your calendar at the bottom. So you would go to your calendar, and you would see the workouts actually appear along here. And when you click it, it would come up, and you would just hit go, and away you go. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that is the workout module. The next one that I want to show you is the nutrition module. So the nutrition module, when you click it for the first time, is going to try and download onto your phone a different app, okay? And you do need to go ahead and download that app. So the app is actually the food one, which is this little apple right here, okay? So the first time that you download that, it's gonna go and download that off the App Store. The second time that you're in the app, once you click and you're back on here, you just click nutrition and it'll take you straight to it. Okay. Now, on the very first time, let's give me a blank one. I'll go to tomorrow and then you'll see a blank one. The very first time that you open this, the workout app is, or sorry, the nutrition app is going to ask you what your goal is. Now, that's important to think about. So, quite often, the only people that are using this section of the app are the people that are trying to lose weight. Okay. I am the exception to that rule. Okay. I am not trying to lose weight. I am trying to maintain weight. By that, what I mean is I don't want my weight to go up and I don't want my weight to go down. And that's what I told the app. Okay. So when I go to me, I'm on the maintain weight schedule. I'm currently 70.5 kilos and I want to stay at 70.5 kilos. Okay. Then it'll ask you, what do you want to do in terms of your split? So do you want to do a little bit more carbs, a little bit more fat, a little bit more protein, or how's your balance? Okay. And you can edit that yourself. Once you tell it your goal, let's say I was to say, I actually want to drop down. I could probably do it 70.5. Let's say I get 8 hours sleep a night. Let's say I do office job. I work 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and I work 7 hours a day. And let's say I'm not very active. Okay. Then I'm going to say, but actually I'd like to lose 5 kilos. So I'm going to go to 75.5. Then the app is going to recommend how many weeks it thinks that it should take me to get there. So let's say I want to go up to 24 weeks. The app's happy. Let's say I want to do it in 2 weeks. Not recommended. Okay, so it'll try to be useful in terms of how healthy it thinks that you can do it, how it thinks it's possible. Okay, so actually more difficult to achieve in 8 weeks, possible in 10 weeks. Okay, so let's give me 12, and then I'm going to say next. And then it's going to ask me which of these plans suits me the best. There's a description at the bottom. Which of these do I think actually sound the most like me? Am I an athlete? Do I do a lot of cardio training? Do I want to eat a high protein diet? Or do I already eat a high protein diet? So therefore that might be easier. Do I want to go low carbs? So more like a keto diet? Or do I want to tell the app myself what it is that I actually want? You'll see that that's locked behind the pro option. So let's say I'm just normal guy, durable, and then it'll create the nutrition plan on my behalf. Now what you're going to see then is, if I hit get started, this is how many daily calories that it wants me to eat. And this is how many in each category. And then I hit get started, and I don't like notifications, so I'll turn that off. And I'm going to slide forward to tomorrow so that it's blank. Now, what you then do is every time you eat or drink something, you're going to hit the big plus button in the bottom right. It's going to give you hundreds upon hundreds of options that you can scroll through or you're going to just search and you're going to say, I had some potatoes. You click on the potatoes and it's going to say, how many potatoes did you have? I had one small one, or I had one big one, or I had four big ones. And you just add those in. Let's say you also had it with some broccoli. Right, so I had four potatoes, add to my thing, and then I had some broccoli cooked. I had three spears. It doesn't go up very much. And I also had some, let's see, what did I have with my broccoli? Chickpeas, for the sake of argument, half a tin. Okay, so you add those in, it calibrates what that looks like in terms of fat, in terms of protein, and in terms of carbs. Okay, so for people that want to lose weight, I guess this is a useful way of trying to calibrate and target what it is that you're actually doing in an effective way. Where I find it, as the person that doesn't want to lose weight, where I find it the most useful is figuring out the things in my diet that are good for me and the things that in my diet that are not good for me. The things in my diet that are a complete waste of carbs. For example, when I started when I started checking everything, I one of the favorite snack things that I like to do was just eat like a white wrap, like a normal like white wrap with nothing on it, and I would just dip it in some hummus and eat it. And honestly, I put it into I had it like a little snack. It didn't really fill me up, and I put it into the nutrition side of the app, and the wheel nearly went the full way around. It was a vast amount of calories in something that was actually not particularly good for me, didn't make me feel full in any way, and didn't bring any nutritional content. And I was like, right, okay, maybe this thing is useful. And so I would keep targeting and tracking and targeting and tracking, and I would keep watch of what I was eating on a day-to-day basis in order to try and get to a sort of healthier outcome. And that's what it's all about. You know, a lot of people, and that's sort of the main crux of what I want to say. The nutrition app is not for people that want to lose weight only. It's a really useful tool for keeping an eye on what you're eating in order to discover whether or not the things that you're eating are actually doing anything good for your body or whether or not they're just a waste of calories. Okay. You can also, I don't know if it will work on this, you'll probably see my surroundings here, but if you do the little thing, you can find, let me see if I've got a product here I could try on. Here's some truffles. So if you grab the truffles and it knows what they are, and you can just add those. So that's a quicker way than typing it all in. Okay, so if you've got any questions about the workout section of the app or the nutrition app, then those are those. And if you've got those, just stick it into the little group chat, and I can answer any questions. The one thing that I'll just show you before I move on from this is I'll go back a day because it'll probably make more sense. So if you look at this little number right here, you can't see where I'm pointing, but you see just beside the circles here at the top, you see the little flame and the 562. This is one of the most unique parts of our app over competitors. Now, I know there's a lot of competitive apps that do something very similar to this, but I don't think any of them do this exactly. Okay. I track my counters by wearing an Apple Watch. Okay. So every time I go out and I do exercise, my Apple Watch picks that up. What this app does with that number is that it will take my daily maintenance calories, which I've just changed to 1,710. I'll change that back when the call's over to my regular calorie intake. But it will allow me to also add 562, which is the number of calories I have burned by doing exercise today. So because today I did 562 kilocalories worth of active work tracked by my fitness watch, I can then eat those 562 extra calories and it will calculate that automatically for me in the app. I hope you're still with me. This is getting very technical now, but essentially that green bar that goes along the top, if I hadn't done those calories, that calorie burn, that 562, that number would that green line would be a lot further along because I would be on 1,154 out of 1,710. But because I have done that 562, it will allow me to do 1,710 plus 562, and I'm only halfway. So in other words, the more I work, the more the app will allow me to eat, but and still stay on track. I hope you're still with me. This is getting all very complicated, but I appreciate that that hopefully you're still holding on and that this is of some use to you. Okay, so I will draw a line under the nutrition part of the app. Again, if you've got any questions, there are, sorry, there's one other feature I should show you. When you go to the ads section, you can also create a meal. Okay, now what that is let's say you've made a curry. What you would do is you would go in, and as you make that curry, you would do garlic, curry paste, butternut squash, sweet potato, onions. You'd roughly measure how much of each one you're putting in. And then you just save that as a full meal. And then when you go back to your all products, and I'm right here on the day, I would go to meals. I'd go to the curry that I made, and then I would say I had approximately 300 grams of it. Add to dairy, and it'll figure out how much of each of this I actually ate when I went to eat the full thing. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's go back to the home screen and I will show you three other little things that come up regularly in our frequently asked questions. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to say is the question is, how do I access the gym when it's really sunny outside and my phone won't beep? Okay, so the first bit of advice I have is go to QR code on the check-in. Mine won't show because I'm screen sharing, so it won't show you my QR code. But what it will show you is I would turn the brightness up to the absolute max, and then I shield the phone and tilt it down slightly towards the ground. So if I'm holding it up towards the scanner, I put my hand right over the top of the screen and I hold the screen down at a 45-degree angle towards the floor. If I do that, it almost always beeps me in. And finally, the last message that we get is a lot of people would do the go to the schedule section and then they realize that they don't have certain messages or classes. So you see across the top, I would frequently get people would put, say they do Lurgan only, and then they go to activities and they click everything. And then they go down to this one and they click everything. And then they go down to the next one and they click everything because they think that if everything's clicked, they'll see everything. But unfortunately, what that means is if I add a new instructor or a new class type, then the class won't actually be on theirs because they haven't clicked it in the app. Okay, so for everyone, the best thing to do is to leave these all just unticked so that they all say all throughout, so that none of them are ticked at all. That way you'll see everything. The only one I would do is if you definitely only ever go to Lurgan, click the Lurgan one and do show results or the other, but definitely keep the rest of them completely clear. Questions? Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the gym floor really soon. Thank you, guys.